It's a beautiful Saturday morning, and while everybody else in the neighborhood are taking care of their yards, mowing their lawns, Spawn and I are going to do a build on this little rig right here for the extreme downhill Barbie Jeep race put on by the Rocky Mountain Rebels. And you're going to see it here on KrawlZone.
This episode of KrawlZone is brought to you by Viair, your vital air source.
Well, I need to give a shout out and a thanks to Lolly Bunce, who has provided us this rig for the extreme downhill Barbie Jeep race, which she's put on. She's the founder of the Rocky Mountain Rebels there in northern Utah, and we are excited to come participate in her event. And thank you for the rig, Lolly. We're taking it apart, and pretty soon you're not going to recognize it. All right, we're down into the motor compartment. We need to remove the motors so we can get the maximum speed with gravity pulling old Dad right here down the hill. And I'm probably going to use that battery pack to power our Rigid Industries LED lights that we're going to be putting on this.
And there's going to be no buckles.
All right, well, it got a little bit warm out in the sun, so we've moved into the garage to finish up this build. Lighting will be a little bit better in here as well, so you get a better look at what we're doing as we build this up. So here we're down to the motor mechanism that we're going to be taking out with the drive so that we can freewheel. One of the things we got going on is the fake little chrome on this is starting to peel off, so we need to prep it so that our paint will stick. So one of the cool things we've got to kind of help us out is with this cool little nifty spray handle that goes onto our spray paint can that allows us to not wear out our trigger finger. All right, so while the kids have been working, I cut up some shims out of PVC pipe that I'm going to use as spacers. Now, when we took out the motor, it left some gap where the wheels can flop back and forth. We want this to run true, we want it to run straight, we want it to look good. So we've got these shims, hopefully that'll do the trick, and we'll find out when we get things put back together. Now, one thing that I did find is that the washer that came off of the axle fits perfectly within this 3/4 inch PVC. So I'm going to glue that in place so that it'll hold the wheel and the axle and all the bushings and everything from going up in the hole and causing any wobbling. And that should keep us nice and secure as we run down the rail.
Hi, I'm Lolly, and you're watching KrawlZone.
All right, as you can hear in the background, neighbors are still doing their thing. They're trying to keep the yards nice, but we've got a rig to build. Now, as you can see, the parts have been painted, they've cured, and we're ready to put this thing back together. Come on, let's check it out. I forgot to mention I'm doing this part alone. Spawn and Reflector Girl have gone up to Yellowstone National Park with their mom and grandparents, leaving me alone since I get to work during the day. Joyous that. But anyway, we're here. We're putting this back together, and a little peace and quiet, though I do miss the kitties. All right, we just put the finishing touches on the paint job. We've got the rig put back together and we're ready to go try it out. It's bright and early this morning. We've got a little hill over here just on the road. We're gonna go test out this thing and see if it rolls. Well, let's go up the hill. Let's test this thing out. right, we've got a bit of an incline here coming down to the house. We're going to see how it rolls on the pavement. Hopefully it'll do just as well out on the hill. Off we go. Well, I'm pretty excited. We took her out for her maiden voyage down the hill here in the neighborhood, and she did pretty good. I had a fun time driving her, and I'm very happy with how she turned out. A few more paint touch-ups. We're going to add some sponsor stickers to support those who support us. And we look forward to racing this thing. You can see we've got some rigid lights on here, Warren's winch. Well, that's not a real winch, but we're going to give that to Warren. And a lot of other fun things. We also like to give a shout out to the Utah Four-Wheel Drive Association. Now, this event that we're building this rig up for is actually a fundraiser for the Utah Four-Wheel Drive Association. Being from Utah, that's our local association, and we like to support it. Now, you should also go out and support your local associations who are doing the things that need to happen to keep your trails and access to trails open. If you don't know of any local communities that you can join the Blue Ribbon Coalition. They're a national organization that are doing the same thing, trying to fight to keep your trails open. So stay tuned and you're going to see some pretty epic mini toy Jeep racing right here on KrawlZone. This episode of KrawlZone, we're heading to almost the tippy top of the state of Utah to a little town called Mendon. Now, just outside of Mendon is just a big old spread of some 40 acres or some odd number, and we're going to be heading out there where they've created a course, and we're going to go hammer down and see how fast we can go down this hill without breaking a neck. I'm Nathan Riddle with KrawlZone. KrawlZone TV? KrawlZone, right here, baby.
On, man.
How you doing? Good to see you too. Breakfast of Champions. I'm planning on winning.
Hey, and don't forget, every week, check out all the great events going on with KrawlZone.tv. Be sure to check them out online today. All right, this is Big Sarge Roper in Mendon, Utah. And we're doing the first annual downhill Barbie Jeep race. So Mendon, Utah, you're on the map now.
1, 2, 3.
Last time we lost 2 tires, but luckily there was a couple salvage donor tires down there and a couple of guys got me fixed back up, so we're going to run this again.
tried to make it extreme as we could. We did clear out some stuff, but we did leave a lot of stuff because you can't have an extreme downhill Barbie Jeep race without making it extreme. So it's kind of an endurance thing. How can you last? How's your rig gonna last? You hit the rock so well it breaks, you're out. That's kind of the name of the game. There's no crying.
Hey guys, we are here in Mendon, Utah. I'm here with Lolly Bunce of the Rocky Mountain Rebels 4x4 Club, and we just wrapped up the Extreme Downhill Barbie Jeep race. Lolly, tell me a little bit about the club, how long it's been around, and about this event. What happened today?
So we started this club about 5 months ago. We do have 17 families as of right now, so in 5 months that's not bad. I decided that we needed to have some type of fundraiser event to donate monies back to the greater clubs, which is the Utah 4-Wheel Drive Association, and also PNW, which is Pacific Northwest 4-Wheel Drive Association.
All right, tell us about the turnout today and what kind of action we saw.
We had a pretty good turnout. I think we had 21 or 22 racers. We auctioned off a rig for a racer, which was great. We had a few vendors. It's kind of the first annual, so we're just rolling with what we had.
Right on.
Big thanks to Lolly and the Rocky Mountain Rebel 4x4 Club up here in Cache Valley in southern Idaho. Great group of people, and the proceeds from today's event are going to go to help keep public lands public. So next year, hope to see more of you folks out here, and come on out. It was a blast. Big thanks to AMSOIL, TerraFlex, and the other great sponsors we had out here today.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of KrawlZone from the KrawlZone Garage here at KrawlZone HQ, aka my house. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.